The Darien Athletic Foundation is proud to present high school boys soccer on the DAF Media Network. This afternoon we are live on the campus of Darien High School for an FCIAC matchup between Darien and Stamford. Hi, I'm Damian Andrew. Welcome in. And joining me this afternoon is Jonathan Gill, former Darien High School star, class of 2013. Jonathan, welcome to the broadcast. Glad to have you here.
Damian, thank you so much for having me here. It's a real honor. I'm excited to watch some good soccer. I'm excited to see what John Bradley's done with his team in the last few years. It's been a while since I've been back. And I have to say, when I step on campus today, it's been 4 years, the first word I can think of is jealousy. These turf fields are absolutely incredible. This setup is absolutely incredible. The amount of support it seems the kids have is just fantastic. So as an alum, it makes me really proud to be here. And like I said, I'm very happy to be here with you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is a great facility. They've done a lot of work on the infrastructure to the athletic fields, as you mentioned, over the last couple of years since you have graduated. But we are underway here. Darien, Stamford, FCIAC boys soccer matchup. It's fall on the calendar. Boy, summer-like temperatures here. And they lost their opener to Fairfield Ludlow, but they are red hot since then. They've rattled off 4 straight wins. Darien comes into this one 0-4-2, still in search of their first win of the season. It's been a little bit of a struggle for the Blue Wave at the outset of this season. Coach Bradley trying to get his team to gel, a lot of young players. Stamford, meanwhile, a senior-laden bunch. In fact, there's only one non-senior starter on this team for Stamford, and that's actually two. That's 2 juniors start. The rest of them are seniors for the Black Knights.
Yeah, I mean, it really is an incredible thing for a team when you have returning players. It just creates that chemistry right at the beginning of the season, which Darien might not be experiencing right now. And what really impresses me about Stamford is not just their record, but the way in which they've attained their results. They've been wins in which they've conceded very few goals. Their coach said that they actually wanted to work on their finishing because maybe they're scoring too few relative to the quality of the players. But honestly, they're getting the results because their defense is so good. And if you look at that, contrasting with the Blue Wave, in which their draws have been of the nature of 3-3, they've been conceding goals left and right. It's pretty clear that the chemistry gap. We have a break on goal right here, clear opportunity, and a great save.
Nice save.
And another great save, fantastic block. Well, that is the kind of defensive tenacity Darien needs. I mean, the reality of soccer is about not conceding goals. It's about keeping the clean sheet. Stamford doing a great job of that this year, which I bet is largely due to their chemistry along with the quality of the players on the pitch. And for Darien, a very young team, a very new team, a lot of these players getting their first starts of their high school career in this season. So it's, yeah, it's definitely going to be a defensive battle for them, but that looked like a fantastic start. To me. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen. But like I said, I think that in a game where the climate is like this, people are going to be making mistakes, and the question is which team is going to give in and make those mistakes first, play sloppy, not defend set pieces properly. And so I think that John Bradley's given a good talking to his team before this game, stressing the importance of good organized defense, not conceding that goal.
How important is it for Darien to get off to a good start, given the fact they're still in search of that first win of the season? They're trying to gel as a unit. To get off to a good start against a team that's played as well as Stamford has the last 4 games is pretty important for the Blue Wave.
It's so pivotal, and I'll tell you, it's not just about the 3 points on the league table. It's about what that does for you as your season goes forward. I remember in our junior year when we were accumulating wins, even though some of them weren't the best wins, it just gave us that extra bit of motivation, of happiness when we played, of team camaraderie. And it's really, really a tough situation day in, day out for practice and when you're on the pitch when your record doesn't look very good. And so I think that to get a big win against a very, very strong team would do wonders for this team. I really think it would turn the whole season around.
We saw a really nice save earlier, a few minutes ago, for Darien, their keeper, David Voles.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And what I loved about that play, too, is the tenacity. A defender followed up right after him. Darien just looked like they did not want to concede there. It's very easy to just give up on a play after the keeper saves it. That was not the case there, and so I think it's a good sign going forward for this team because, and John knows this better than anyone. not conceding goals in high school soccer is so much about tenacity. It's so much about the fight, the pride that you have in your jersey. And in one of our more successful seasons, I thought that that was certainly the big catalyst for having a very good record. We'd win a lot of games, 1-0, 2-1, against teams that were on paper better than us, just as you could say Stamford is better than Darien on paper now. But we had more grit than them. We had more determination, and we had great organization at the back. And so I think to see a start like that, to see a great save, and then to see a defender follow up on that ball and not let the ball go in the net is a fantastic start. And that's a great catch by the keeper there. Being a keeper is not just making saves. It's a lot about having a commanding presence in the box, not letting that ball bounce around, not letting there be chaos. And so that's a fantastic sign. And I'm really liking the start right now for the Blue Wave.
Yeah, Darien has put some pressure on this Stamford defense. And as I said at the outset, the defense for the Black Knights is really the bread and butter of their team.
Yep.
Mario Caminiti, the head coach for Stamford, he's been around since the mid-1980s, has done a terrific job with the Black Knights over the years. They've had some talented players come out of the program, still in search, believe it or not, of their first ever FCIAC championship.
Wow. I did not know that. They look like they might be shaping up for it this year. I mean, their results have been fantastic. And, you know, soccer is all defense, defense, defense. And when you have a good, organized back four that controls the tempo of the game, doesn't allow easy goals to come in, and here's a fantastic attack opportunity coming right here, a good cross in and a good clearance. You got to get your foot on the ball in the box, not let it create that chaos as I said before. Darien did a good job before.
We've been talking about Stamford's back four, but Darien's back four and their defense has been tested here early on as
Yes.
the Black Knights starting to apply some pressure here.
Yeah, I mean, the reality of this game, and I think John knows this, is that he's playing a team that is more experienced and perhaps more talented on paper. So the defense will absolutely be tested, but if they don't concede goals, and Darien can get that one goal, be it off a set piece, be it off a counterattack, it'll really change the nature of the game. And for now, I think John is okay sitting back, inviting some of the pressure, and as long as it doesn't lead to goals, it's not a huge issue. There are some games in soccer where you have to understand that on a player-by-player basis, it's a little bit of a mismatch, and so you have to alter your game plan a little bit. You have to invite that pressure and then try and strike them on the counterattack while still playing good organized defense. And I think that's what Darien's doing well here. This is a fantastic opportunity, and that's a great save. Oh, and he kept the ball as well. Really good goalkeeping, really great setup by Darien. And you see right there, even though they're on the back foot for most of the game, you get that opportunity, you put that in, and suddenly the complexion of the game has changed completely.
Alex Graybar is Stamford's keeper. He's a senior keeper. He's been around for a while, had 9 saves in their last game, a win over Brian McMahon. I mentioned this Stamford team being senior-laden. 15 seniors on this year's team. Wow. Coach Caminiti, I spoke with him before the game, and he said he's really trying to grow the freshmen in the JV teams to look towards the future because, well, he'll lose 15 seniors after this season. And you've got to replenish the supply.
It seems like that's what's happening with Darien right now. After a very successful season last year, they graduated a lot of good talent, and sometimes it happens that you have these rebuilding years. So I wish the best for Stamford next year, but I think they should certainly be enjoying this year more than anything else. It seems like they have a lot of potential, a lot of great talent, a lot of good results. And yeah, I mean, it seems like John Bradley's handling this rebuilding year well. You know, it seems like there's a lot of good young talent on this field that could grow into a very, very high-class team in the FCIAC in the future. And they can certainly start down that path today with a very important win.
John Bradley, the head coach of Darien, in his 6th season as the Blue Wave head coach. He was the girls varsity coach here at Darien before that. Had a lot of success with the girls program, kind of rebuild the girls program, and he has done just that with the boys program.
Absolutely. I mean, having John as your coach, it is just night and day versus, to be honest, any other coach that I've worked with in the domain of high school soccer. I just think he has a really great understanding of specifically high school soccer and how to get the most out of players, what you need to do tactically in order to win games. And I just think he's really a champion when it comes to this level of play. I wouldn't be asking for anyone else on my sideline, and it really is no surprise to me that he's come and revolutionized 2 separate programs here at DHS Soccer.
And he's fun to watch on the sideline, coach too, right?
He is a
Jonathan
character.
Gill?
He's a good friend of mine. I mean, yeah, he's a good friend of mine now. Back when I was playing for him, it did get tough sometimes, I'd say. I think he definitely dug into me a little. But I think that's all part of being a great coach, and the team loves him, the team respects him, and that's just by far the most important thing.
Of course, Darien had that great run to the state finals in 2015, made it all the way as the 11 seed to the finals of the Class L state tournament, losing ultimately to the #1 seed Glastonbury, as they have an opportunity here.
That's good goalkeeping, but that's great play from Darien. And the reality is that when you are playing a team that's better with the ball on the ground than you, you're going to need to create your chances by creating trouble in the box, putting in good crosses, capitalizing on set pieces, and Darien is doing that just there. They're working it to perfection, spreading the ball out wide well, putting the cross in, and you saw that ball was bouncing around that could very well have led to a goal. So I really liked what I saw there from Darien, and I also liked what I saw there from Graybar, the Stamford goalkeeper. So overall, good play to start the game.
Keep an eye on number 10 for Stamford, Ole Senek. Coach Caminetti calls him a creative genius at the midfield position.
Wow. I don't think I've ever heard a coach sing such high praise of a single player. I will be keeping my eye out for him. Usually the person who wears the number 10 on a team is the most dangerous one. That's just kind of a soccer cliche. But I'll be keeping my eye out for him, and it really is invaluable to have a player like that who can facilitate some really good plays in the middle. I like that he went up for that header. I like the aggression as well. A lot of the times the more creative players are a little more timid. It seems like he's fully locked into the physical nature of the game as well as the technical one. So I hope to see more of him. I hope to see some good soccer.
Stamford, Darien, Stamford in black, Darien in white. Stamford moving from left to right on your screen. The blue wave in white moving from right to left.
Oof.
A nice play by Voles to clear that one away.
That was a close one. And I see now Stamford are unlocking the Darien defense by sending balls over the top, and it's going to be an issue for Darien. And Darien's defense does not look particularly tall, so that ball over the back is going to be a little dangerous. That lofted ball, and we've seen it a couple times. It led to that very good opportunity right at the beginning of the game. So I think that's something that they're going to have to watch out for, and something that probably Bradley will talk about at halftime. It seems like that's Stanford's main weapon right now, but for now we're 0-0, so all square. Good.
Jonathan Gill, we've been talking about Stanford's defense and how impressive it's been this season. Coach Caminetti loves his back four. He'd like to see, as you said earlier, some more offensive opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, I think Damien, he specifically said finishing, and to me, when I hear the word finishing, I'm thinking that they're creating the offensive chances, but they're not converting them. Those are two very separate things, and I think that it happens a lot among very good soccer teams in which you dominate the game, you control possession, you play well defensively, you create the chances, and then that final touch in the end is not there. And I think that is something that I think is clear from the score lines that they've had. They have had, of course, 4 wins and 1 loss, but the wins have not been by very large margins, and I would bet that that can be attributed to perhaps a lack of clinical finishing in the final third of the field.
Action at midfield here. Stamford now attacking.
Well worked out wide, and almost a good save. I see that there's a lot of space in the midfield, which could create trouble for Darien. You saw right there the number 7, Philip Peck for Stamford. A ton of space when he was running. These are creative players. They're good passers. They're going to capitalize on that space eventually. So Darien's got to really close it down in the midfield.
You mentioned Philip Peck, number 7, senior midfielder for the Black Knights. He's one of the captains.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching some of these players play. And I would bet that a lot of these seniors are top quality soccer players. And I'm still keeping my eye on number 10, but right now number 7's looking quite dangerous. He is controlling the midfield. There he is again, sending a nice ball out wide, and it's just going to create havoc for Darien all day if they continue to give him space.
There's Peck. on the far sideline. Nice angles there.
Yeah, Stamford really doing a great job of keeping the ball on the ground right now, controlling the play, finding the pockets of space. I mean, it's just, oh, but there we go. See, that's exactly what they need. Instead of giving Philip Peck space right there, they closed him down. They stopped him from being in his comfort zone.
It was a nice tackle by Elias Vetter, number 3 for the Blue Wave. No score here.
Yeah, it's a nice sign, I think, for Darien to get off to the start. You know, it would have been very, very difficult to surmount if Stamford had scored an early goal, but you know, we're getting into the swing of the game. Both teams look like they're pretty comfortable with the speed of play right now, and so hopefully Darien can capitalize on a chance and take the initiative here.
Free ball here into the box, and Stamford clears it away. Here's Bogdan Shervik on the near sideline with a nice run into the corner.
And a great win back.
Nice effort by the Darien defense there.
Well done by the Darien defense, and I have to give credit to the Stamford offense as well. They broke from their own 18-yard box all the way up the pitch while keeping the ball on the ground. It was really, really great soccer. You know, and if they continue this, they're going to have a lot of chances this game. And that is a good win there by Senek. Oh, and a fantastic defensive clearance right there. That ball could have been right through at goal.
Vetter again with a nice play.
Yeah, it's very well done. And, you know, he's putting his body on the line. And that's a fantastic ball through. And they're right through. And that is a great tackle. It looked like a foul at first glance, but he got his foot square on the ball. A fantastic tackle from behind.
It's Carlos Lopez, one of the captains for Stamford, making a nice play on that ball.
Well, Damien, you were talking about their back four, and that's what they do. That is a goal-saving tackle right there. Fantastic play from Stamford and fantastic play from Darien to counterattack, get that ball over. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from both teams here. And this game certainly does not look one-sided to me. It looks like both teams are equally likely to score at this point, and I'm sure John Bradley is very happy with that. This is great play right here. Oh, a fantastic goal.
And that's Senek, the creative genius, as we mentioned earlier, number 10, getting it done for Stamford there, putting in the back of the net, right side.
It doesn't seem like he's just a creative genius. Seems like he's a finishing genius as well. That was absolutely brilliant. It was just fantastic there how he cut to his left to find that pocket of space. Obviously a great finish, and his teammates were making good runs along the box as well to create that space from him, or for him, and take away the Darien defenders. So overall, a great play from both Senek and his teammates. Classy finish.
Right before that goal, we were talking about how Darien kind of staying with Stamford here in this first half, but the Black Knights so explosive.
It is really difficult now. I mean, it's going to be difficult now for Darien. There's no two ways about it. I think Darien just needs to keep their composure, kind of pretend the game is 0-0, and stay locked defensively and then wait for that chance, because Darien have had their chances. The chances are coming. I think that they have they'll have a good opportunity to convert one. But right now, Stamford, with that goal, they're definitely on the front foot, and I think they're going to continue to apply the pressure. And do you know what we have here, Damien? Is this a heat break?
We're about 20 minutes left in the first half.
I bet this is a heat break, yeah.
This looks like they're taking a break here.
Well, makes me feel better. I feel quite hot, but at least, yeah.
It is hot. We mentioned it's fall on the calendar, but it's certainly a summer-like temperatures in the mid-80s throughout the day.
Well, that's a little bit of a shame. Right on the stroke of the break, you concede a goal. That is not what you want.
We were talking about what a great job Mario Caminiti, the Stamford head coach, longtime Stamford head coach, has done with his program, still in search of the first ever FCIAC championship. Stamford's never won a state title, believe it or not. The last time they played for a state title was in 1949. neither of us were around then. They ended up losing to Wethersfield 2-0 in the finals. They played for a state title in 1949. But, and as I mentioned, Darien had that nice run to the state finals in 2015, Class L, double L runners-up, losing to the eventual losing to the #1 seed Glastonbury, who won it all that year. Glastonbury, terrific program up north.
I'll tell you what, Damien, that does surprise me about Stamford. I've known in my day a lot of great soccer players from Stamford. I think that they have a good high school program, so of course it does surprise me that they're not seeing as much competition success as they'd like. But from the looks of it, this team this year, based on their record, their defensive prowess, and it looks like they have some offensive firepower as well. This team looks like they've as good of chance of as any to make a run. You know, and I'm sure that there's a lot of pressure on the Stamford team as well, because like you said, they have all their seniors. And, you know, I recall in my junior year, you know, we had a few good players in my grade, but most of the team was seniors. So, you know, Eric Hannigan recently commentated with you, of course, Lewis Clark. And I think that because we had so many seniors and we were doing so well, we felt this enormous pressure to succeed because we felt like this would be our one shot. Now, of course, it never works out that way. You know, these high school programs have, you know, as many chances as they want at these titles, but I'm sure that the Stamford team right now has as good a team as ever, and they feel a lot of pressure to get back to the state final and change history.
And action has resumed here in the first half after what we presume was a break because of the intense heat out there. And it's hotter on these turf fields, no doubt.
Yeah, it's the only thing. I mean, I can't imagine what it's like being a player out there. I am sitting here under a tent, and I'm not on the turf field, and I'm still hot, and these guys are sweating it out, running on this turf field. I can't really imagine what they're feeling right now. It's a well-deserved break, but as I said, psychologically, it is not the thing you want to go into a breakdown. People talk a lot about it in soccer. If you score a goal or if you concede a goal right before halftime, it's really one of the most devastating things. It's just not something you want. It's tough to clear your mind. It's tough to not dwell on the negatives during that break. And so I hope that John gave them a good talk, and they're going back out there fresh and motivated to get that tying goal.
Yeah, certainly a momentum changer, that's for sure. Ole Senek made it 1-0 Stamford here in this first half with a blast from up top. 1-0 Black Knights. Stamford in black, Darien in white. Black Knights moving from left to right on your screen, Darien moving from right to left.
That is something you don't see very often, a foul throw, and it's going to lead to a counterattack for Darien. That's a fantastic ball in the box. Oh.
Nice cross.
Well, that is the exact chance that they are looking for. They're looking for that counterattack to exploit the mistake of Stamford, as there was one there on that foul throw, and they nearly got it, but it was the finishing that...
Max Marchin, number 9 for Darien, nearly had himself a goal this afternoon.
Yeah, and I got to say, it was a fantastic... fantastic creation of the chance by Sadant Parwal, excuse me, of Darien, and he seems like he's been a troublemaker for the Stamford defense. He's gone over the top with some good runs a couple of times. He's sent in some good balls. He's had some opportunities to finish, and so that's definitely a player that I'm watching out for to get the tying goal for Darien. Although, if I'm not mistaken, he just got subbed off. So there we go. Shows how much I know, but. Anyways, fantastic opportunity for Darien. It was really well worked, capitalizing on the mistake. And as I said, Damien, in this kind of heat, people are going to be making mistakes. You know, like right there's a foul throw, and Darien's got to capitalize on them.
Here's a free kick for the Blue Wave.
Yeah, and number 30 here, Charlie Sears, sending some great balls in so far, and this is a real asset to have, especially in a game like this. You want to be able to work good set pieces that give you opportunity to score. And even though you're on the halfway line, he's going to send in a ball that's going to give you a chance. That looked like an offside there. Seems so. Unfortunate.
Offside Darien. John, let me ask you something. How often during practice did you spend on set pieces?
It varied from practice to practice, but I would say that there were some practices where we would spend like an hour and a half solely on set pieces, corner kicks, free kicks. I mean, they're just so important. Like, if you're in a game that is deadlocked or you're playing a better team, and you're not controlling the flow of the game, the possession of the ball, having a good set piece in your arsenal to get that quick goal is just, it's completely invaluable. And John Bradley knows the importance of that. And we had so many games when I was playing in 2011 and 2012 under Coach Bradley, where the game was dead even, and we ended up squeaking out all 3 points through a great set piece. And here comes another one. That's another fantastic opportunity. Well, Darien's working some good set pieces, but the finishing leaves a little to be desired right now. The Norwalk goalkeeper, Graybar, has not been tested. But good signs for Darien. A fantastic turn there by Oleg. Searching ball. Darien gets it back. Let's see if they can launch a counterattack. And a good clearance there. Well, John Bradley's screaming get up to his players, and he's completely right. The forward has been left all stranded there, and that is not the way that you score goals. When you counterattack, when you send that ball over the top, you got to have 3 or 4 players running at it, ready to capitalize on that chance. That was not what was happening there.
1-0 Stamford here in the first half of this FCIAC matchup, boys soccer between Stamford and Darien here on the campus of Darien High School. Beautiful day, a little hot, but otherwise a picture-perfect day.
Yes, a picture-perfect day on picture-perfect fields. As I said before at the beginning of the broadcast, the one word I'm thinking of is jealousy.
Yeah, you played on grass fields here.
Oh, yeah. So we were lucky enough to play on the oval for the varsity matches, but a lot of the time, and that is a good opportunity.
Is over the crossbar there. Just a great opportunity there for Stamford.
Fantastic cross, well-worked play. So as I was saying, Damien, so many of these fields, and I'm looking at not just the oval, but the field beyond the oval, the field right behind us where we are right now. They were not just grass, but they were basically unplayable grass. I mean, it was really difficult to get good touches in, to practice the right things for a soccer player on those fields. And so for all these kids, and you know, not just the varsity players, but the future, the freshmen, the JV, coming up and having the opportunity to train and play on these wonderful pitches is just really fantastic. And as I said before, testament to how much the town of Darien cares about these high school athletes, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. And that's a fantastic ball through. This is what he meant by creative genius. Really well picked, and just a little too much on the ball. That could be a mistake. Oh.
And Darien clears it away.
Finally clears it away. And let's see if they can launch something here.
You gotta blow your whistle, ref. Foot right in his face.
Well, you can see here, Darien trying to create chances, but they're having a very difficult time keeping the ball up in the air, or keeping the ball on the ground. Sorry, but that is a good ball through, a great run by number 15 Cameron Rea, and now we have a good set piece opportunity after the shirt tug by the Stamford defender. So let's see if Darien can capitalize.
Yeah, there was a definite shirt tug there that led to that whistle.
Absolutely. Although we would call that in soccer a good foul. It was, you know, for better or for worse, it was a smart foul. It stopped the opportunity.
Number 10, Johan Tripatelli, will take this free kick for the Blue Wave.
And now I'm wondering if he will cross or shoot this ball. It looks like he's going to line up for a shot here. And it is a shot, and it sails over the crossbar. No trouble for Graybar.
That was one of Darien's best opportunities here in this first half, Jonathan.
Absolutely.
Gill.
As I said, set pieces, set pieces, set pieces. And when it's that close, I mean, it's, you know, you just got to pick your head up and create more of them. And it looked like Tripatelli there had some good shot power, had some good good direction, just didn't get his head down well enough. So.
Stamford 4-1 atop the FCIAC West standings coming into this one, looking for their 5th straight win. Darien still in search of its first win of the season, 0-4-2.
Yeah, and I have to say, though, given those records, Darien is playing quite well. I know they're down 1-0. It's not even halftime. But Darien, to me, looking at Stanford's record and looking at how Darien are playing, Darien don't look like the kind of team who should be winless after 6 games, given that they're going toe-to-toe right now with a team of this quality, and that's fantastic footwork by Peck there.
Well, and Coach Bradley told me a couple days ago, he said, we're going to get better. We're going to continue to grow, continue to gel, and we'll get better by the end of the season.
I absolutely believe him. And that ball nearly gets through. But Cameron Rea back at it, and I really love his aggression, his fight. He's trying to get Darien up the pitch, but I think, like Coach Bradley screamed at his players earlier, it takes more than one person up there. And right now, Darien have 2 isolated forwards up there with virtually no help. And so on the counterattack, that's not going to bode very well for them. And they're going to be scoring goals on the counterattack basically exclusively, given that Stamford have most of the possession here. So I think Darien really need to put in the fight and push a lot more numbers up when they have that counterattack opportunity. But as I said, I really like the aggression from Rea, what he's been doing up there. So I'm hoping to see more of that, but with more numbers for the Blue Wave as well.
We mentioned John Bradley coached the varsity girls program here at Darien before he took over the boys program. In 2010, he led the Darien girls varsity team to the quarterfinals of the Class L state tournament. They knocked off the #1 seed in that tournament. So he has had a lot of success both with the girls program and the boys program here at Darien.
As I said, Damien, it does not surprise me one bit. I would not want anyone else on the sideline. And I'm not saying that just because I'm a good friend of his. Fantastic coach. But right now, yeah, it does look like the boys team is struggling to gel a little bit. But to be honest, I think he's probably pleased with the way they're playing right now. They're really giving a good fight to a top team in the FCIAC, which is something that is a quality of play that's better than their record would suggest. And I think they will pick it up. I saw that they had an unfortunate loss earlier to Trinity Catholic. That's not a team that Darien generally loses to historically. So it must be a little demotivating, but I think Darien can really be proud of how they're playing in this game so far, and they definitely look like they're going to have the opportunities to tie this game up or maybe even take the win.
Darien throw in here on the far side of the field as they continue to try to penetrate this Stamford defense.
Well, I should not be surprised. You said this defense was tough, and they've proved it to me. Absolutely great work from them. That's a nice turn. It's a great ball through, and here goes Cameron Rea. Can he get through the defense? And that is fantastic defense right there. Ali El Salmi for Stamford. Fantastic shielding. Easy pickup for Graybar. This team is organized and they are coherent. They're tough to break down.
Yeah, Ali Salami, he had a goal in the last game for Stamford off a set piece.
Does not surprise me. Good set piece. He's one of their tallest players, and that's how you score goals in soccer. I mean, it's just so undervalued. And a nice tackle there from the creative genius. Seems like he can do it all. He's finishing, he's tackling. I don't know what his coach is talking about.
We like that phrase. Ole Senek we're talking about, the creative genius. That's what head coach Mario Caminiti calls him, number 10 for Stamford. And he's proved to be creative this afternoon. Has a goal for the Black Knights, 1-0 Stamford. And a run here on the far sideline for the Blue Wave.
And he nearly made it. I thought fantastic tenacity by Justin Vandegraff there. And also I have to say, for Stamford, fantastic tenacity by Lamena Jefferson right there in the midfield. That's number 34. Great win back. Was dribbling through at speed in a lot of space, and I think that that's going to create some problems for Darien. I mean, what I see about Stamford, we mentioned their defense earlier being very good, and that they are. But Stamford's midfield is really impressing me. They're winning balls back, they're creating pockets of space for themselves, and they're sending good balls through the forwards. So this team, I would say, if I had one word, just really well-rounded. And that is a nice ball across the box by Van de Graaff.
Yeah, nice cross by Van de Graaff there. No one on the far post.
Well, Bradley's got to be happy with the setup, but not the finishing. I mean, the chances are coming. They're putting the balls in the box. It is not like the ball is exclusively in Darien's half. Darien are really creating the chances, and they're putting pressure on the Stanford defense, but they're just not capitalizing.
I was just going to say the same thing. They've had their opportunities in this
Absolutely.
first half, Darien.
Yeah, I mean, and again, you can be optimistic and say that that's a very good thing. They're playing a top team in the FCIAC, and they're going toe-to-toe, as I said, but at the end of the day, it's about results. But that's, again, great tenacity from Rhea. And Kenny put a good cross in. He's going to try and shoot, and he's won a corner.
Rhea has played well in this first half.
He's played fantastically. He's just been a pest to the Stanford defense. There's no other way to put it. It is very frustrating when you're a defender and a forward is bugging you like that, both when he's on the ball and off the ball. Rhea is hounding them. And another set piece here.
Charlie Sears will serve this up, Jonathan.
Yeah, I was saying.
Not to interrupt you.
Oh, no worries. I was saying actually before, Sears very good set pieces. He's been taking all of them for Darien today, and these deliveries are really good. It's just all about capitalizing. But I'm sure John Bradley is excited watching this one. And a great ball in, and a great goal.
Great ball.
And that there is number 10.
Johan Tripatelli with the goal.
Well, we saw him earlier, Damien, hit a free kick very far over the bar. My advice was not to get too discouraged, and it doesn't look like he is discouraged. It looks like he found his resolve and did a fantastic job converting there. Yeah, and one thing, Damien, that I should mention, and I talked about set pieces being so important, and you saw that goal. That was a headed goal, and I find that when you are not controlling the flow of the game, Stanford are generally controlling the possession. The way that your goals are going to come, they're going to come from, as I said earlier in the game, creating chaos in the box and getting that first head on it, and that's exactly what they did there. Tripatelli showed nothing but grit in beating the defender there, getting that head. And when you get the head on the ball and that ball is in the box, you can bet it's probably going in the net.
Darien will have a free kick here. That was a pretty goal, though, to tie it up, the equalizer.
It was a fantastic header, and I shouldn't discredit the header either. It wasn't just about grit. It was about technique. He was about 12 yards out, and he guided that ball into the corner of the net with his head. That is not an easy thing to do.
Charlie Sears with a great
Well, I said
kick.
it before, yeah, he puts in good deliveries, and here he is again. Let's see if he can create one more. I really like these deliveries.
How much energy, how much of a boost does that give the Darien team? Right before the half, we're under 5 minutes left in the first half, to get a goal, to equalize it, to tie it up at 1.
I mean, it's just everything, Damien. I mean, to be down 1-0 at halftime against a team that has a better record than you, it's pretty easy to get your head down. But when you're all tied up, in a manner too in which you guys, both teams have created equal numbers of chances, you know, it makes you really feel like you're on even footing with the other team, and this game could go either way, and it gives you the motivation in the second half to go forward. But as I said, I think Darien should be focusing right now on not conceding before halftime. Though it doesn't look like they will. In fact, they look like they're attacking. Van de Graaff at it again. Van de Graaff and Rhea creating all sorts of problems for the Stamford defense.
Marchin, nice job switching the field there. He's played well in this first half, is Max Marchin.
Absolutely. Well, I would be interested to be a fly on the wall on John Bradley's halftime talk, but he has got to be a happy guy right now. This is a fantastic first half from his team, a great showing, both technically and in terms of just how much they're trying, how much effort they're putting out there, especially on this extremely hot day against a team that, you know, you could easily give into.
The throw in.
Oh, that's another beautiful set piece. And unlucky, but they keep possession out wide. And a good turn out wide. Can he put the cross in? He does. Oh. And the bicycle kick attempt goes awry, but very creative try there. And a great pass out from who else? The creative genius, and now an opportunity for Stamford. And well done to create space. Opportunity for a shot. No.
And that was just left. Orlando Coronado had an opportunity, had a look at it, but wide left.
Well, Oleg Senek, again, creating another great opportunity. He was given space in the midfield, which perhaps he shouldn't be given, but he used that to put a great pass out wide, and Stamford definitely had a really good opportunity there. But I really liked the Darien defenders closing down the space in the box really quickly. There wasn't a really good shot at any point there for Stamford. I think these forwards for Stamford are finding it a little tough to get those little pockets of space and have that clear shot, so it's fantastic job from the Darien defense.
Tied at 1 here, late first half, Darien Stamford. It has been an entertaining first half from both of these teams, to say the least. We're about 2 minutes left in the first half. 1-1 tie.
Darien launched another counterattack, and here he is, Rhea again. He is going to bug them all day. Fantastic. And I really like the follow-up there by Liam Flaherty. This is what I was saying earlier. You don't just want one forward hounding that ball. You want everyone hounding that ball once it gets into Stamford's area and trap them there. That's a great ball out wide. Oh, but it's intercepted. Well, Stamford with the right ideas, but not the right execution right now. Well, good possession all around. That is a wasted ball right there. And can Rhea beat him there again? No, fantastic. I have to say, I am very, very impressed with the physicality of the Stamford center back, Estelami. He's done a really good job not let Rhea in despite all of Rhea's attempts. And you look at Rhea there, he is tired, but he definitely deserves a halftime break. He has been working hard, and he wins the ball back again. Fantastic job. Let's see if he can lead to a good counterattack.
Here's Marchin.
Darien doing a good job keeping the ball on the ground, trying to create the opportunity right now. That is a poor giveaway, and now a break for Stamford. And he's gotten by him. And a great tackle by Tripatelli there. And a good clearance.
Tripatelli doing it on both sides of the field as we are closing in on the end of the first half here.
That he is. I'm very impressed. And here we are at halftime, a tied game. Very well played from Darien.
1-1 tie here. Stamford Darien tied at the half. It has been an entertaining first half, to say the least. I'm Damian Andrew alongside Jonathan Gill, former Darien High School soccer star, class of 2013. Impressions of the first half?
I was really impressed with Darien. I mean, the way they're playing now is, as I said earlier in the broadcast, not what their record suggests. They are keeping it very even with a team that is atop the FCIAC West. And they're doing it in a way which is really tactically sound. They know that they're not going to have the bulk of the possession during the game, but what they're doing really well is defending with tenacity, and on the break, getting good crosses in, capitalizing on their set pieces, as we saw with a fantastic header from Tripatelli. And so I think that they're doing all the right things right now to hang into this game. And to the neutral observer, the game looks absolutely toe-to-toe. I cannot tell you where it's going to go in the second half, and that's just a fantastic sign for the young Darien team.
Jonathan Gill, we're going to take a quick break. We will resume with second half action. You are watching the high school boys soccer on the Darien Athletic Foundation Media Network. We'll be right back.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
We are back here on the Darien Athletic Foundation Network, the DAF Media Network. High school boys soccer from the campus of Darien High School. The Blue Wave taking on Stamford, 1-1 at the half. We are just about to start the second half here. And Jonathan, I did confirm with the officials at the half that was a heat break.
Yes.
With 20 minutes left in the first half. They took a break. Both teams agreed on that before the game started.
Makes total sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, funny story, Damien. So I went inside because of the heat. And I said earlier in the broadcast that I wanted to be a fly on the wall for John Bradley's halftime speech, but there
And
I
you
was.
were.
I ran into it, and so I will tell you what John said. The theme of John's message was basically, we are playing better than this team, and we have to act like it, and we have to control the game, and I think he's totally right. Stanford's had a little more possession, but Darien have certainly, I think, created more chances in front of goal. And it is tough psychologically for a team that has a worse record, not as in good standing, to believe that they're better than a team with a better record. But right now, Darien really showing it, and I think that if they have the confidence that the coach Bradley wants them to have, it could be a really, really good second half. I also ran into John as I was walking out, and he told me to keep my eye on the two center backs. He's really impressed with how they're playing. He says they're fantastic players. So that would be Tripatelli and then Charlie Sears. And he mentioned Charlie specifically. In fact, he said Charlie, who we've noted has been taking some great set pieces, moved here from England when he was 4, which I have to say always helps. Because if you moved from England when you were 4, that means you've been playing 4 years of soccer. I think that's just about the way it works in England. But overall, John looked really happy with his team's performance. It's definitely going better than expected, and I think he's really focused right now on getting all 3 points, getting that win.
Well, you mentioned Sears and Tripatelli. They combined on that first half goal that came late in the first half for Darien off a set piece, off a corner. Sears served it up, and as that goes over the crossbar, and Tripatelli headed it in. Pretty looking goal. And of course, Stamford had scored earlier in the first half. One of their top players, Ole Senek, who Coach Mario Caminiti calls a creative genius, and he played it like that at times in the first half.
Yeah, I got to say both goals were really high quality. The delivery by Sears was great, and the header by Tripatelli was extremely well guided. And of course, the goal by Senek, 20 yards out, placing it into that bottom right-hand corner. It was just absolutely fantastic to watch from both sides. And like you said, it's great when two center backs combine. They have those attacking capabilities in addition to their great defensive capabilities, and that versatility really helps the team out. But it looks like Stamford is starting this half on the front foot, and I'm sure that
if you're Darien here, not to interrupt you, Jonathan, but if you're Darien here, what are you looking to do early in the first half? You're knotted at 1, you've played well, you're in search of your first win, and you're playing against a team that's capable of striking at any moment.
Yeah, I mean, mentally the first thing I'm thinking is you got to have confidence and belief. You can't think that half was a fluke, or that there's a high chance you're going to lose the game. You have to say it's all tied up, and we've been taking the initiative. And so they have to have that confidence as Senek comes here. He's looking absolutely dangerous, and a good clearance there. They head it back in by Al-Salami. And this is chaos in the box, as I said. Could lead to an opportunity, but a good clearance. But not out yet. And Darien closing down the space in the middle, doing a fantastic job. That's a great turn by Peck. Well, he has got some really nice footwork. I'm very impressed with Peck, number 7 over there.
Connor Olson, nice defensive effort down in the near side corner.
Yeah, so sorry, Damien, you were asking what I'd be thinking if I was Darien coming into this half, and I said mentally definitely have the confidence that you are playing just as well, if not better, than this very good Stamford team. And I think the second thing is that you have to understand how the game is flowing, and what's happening right now is that Stamford are controlling the ball, but Darien look very dangerous on the counterattack and on set piece. And so what that means is that you defend well, and then when you get that counterattacking opportunity, you throw the numbers forward. And I think that was something that Darien was not doing as well as they could have in the first half. We saw Cameron Rea hustling after the ball alone a lot. And when Darien gets that counterattacking opportunity, they got to send 3 or 4 men forward. And that all comes down to determination. You know, it's hot, it's tough to run, it's tough to do sprints up and down the field, but if you want to score goals, that's the price you pay. And here's a great attacking opportunity here for Stamford. But again,
here's
good
Cardona.
defense.
We're just underway here in the second half, tied at 1, Darien, Stamford. Border rivals in the FCIAC, these two programs. Both programs in search of their first ever FCIAC championship. Hard to believe with this kind of talent they've had, both programs, through the last several years.
It is hard to believe, as I said before about Stamford. Darien, Coach Bradley still rebuilding this program. I'm sure he'll get his first title at some point soon. But we were talking earlier, Dane, about what John Bradley was saying to his team, what they'd be thinking. But Coach Caminiti, I have to say, cannot be too pleased with what's going on here. He probably came in thinking this would be an easy win for them, and right now they are struggling. It doesn't look like they even have the upper hand, and so I'm sure he gave a good talking to his team at halftime to tell them to pick up the pace, pick up the offensive pressure, and get that second goal quickly, as they are capable of doing. And Seneca, of course, they can't give him space like this. This is very dangerous. And a great turn in the midfield. Keeps the ball so well on the ground.
And Voles comes up with it, and he'll clear this out.
Well worked by Stamford, but the cross at the end by Peck leaves a little to be desired, and so an easy pickup for Voles.
David Voles, one of the captains on this Darien team. Senek here, midfield.
Doing a fantastic job dictating the tempo for Stamford, getting the ball down when it comes to him, keeping his head up, good first touches to create space. I'm really impressed with Senek overall.
This is a Stamford team, too, that's a little banged up. 3 of their top players are not playing in this game because of injuries.
I did not know that, Damien. It is all the more impressive the way that they're playing then, that if 3 of their top players are injured. And great hustle from Rea. He earns the foul up the field, and you know what that means. Charlie Sears coming up to take another set piece.
And he played well in that first half, of course, assisted on the goal. Tied at 1, we're at the 33-minute mark of the second half on a beautiful day here on the campus of Darien High School. Turf field number 2.
How many are there? 20? I've lost count, Damien.
Here's Sears serving it up into the box.
And that is dangerous. And a well-earned corner. Well, it's just creating chaos every time. The Stamford back line's a great set of players, but when you have a good delivery like Charlie Sears does, and you have some tall players in the box like Darien does, it's just going to be really difficult to defend every single time.
The ball girl's doing a great job down in the corner there.
That's fantastic.
Darien has a great soccer community, and they come out to support.
There is a lot of support here. Girls team, lots of parents. I love it. There's so much support for Darien sports in general. I think I was talking earlier about the DAF as the ball comes in. Wouldn't want to miss a big moment here, but it's nicely cleared out. I mean, you know, it's not just the financial support that I see, you know, manifested in these turf fields, but just the emotional support. All the other kids coming out for the other kids' games. Sports across the board, soccer, field hockey, football, every season, every sport, just well supported. The parents are so engaged, and so it's just it's such a gift for the kids. You know, and it's not just a gift that is a gift that stays in high school alone, but you know, I remember the team that I had, the DHS soccer team, the friendships that I made there. There's some of my greatest friends for life right now. You know, Eric Hannigan commentated with you on the earlier game.
Yeah, he sat in on the Darien girls game Friday night, first ever night game in Blue Wave varsity girls soccer history.
And Cameron Rea at it again.
And here's Graybar. He will clear it away. I mentioned Graybar. He's played well this season. Hasn't given up many goals. In fact, had 9 saves in a 2-0 shutout over Brian McMahon the last time out for Stamford. You know, to your point about the Darien soccer community, the girls team is having a great season, as you know, and the boys team has come out in support for a few of their matches already this season.
It's absolutely fantastic to see. I mean, even when the boys team themselves are not doing well, they are enjoying the success of the girls team, and I think that just really speaks to the community that Darien has fostered here. Is that shot sails a little wide, so it's just fantastic. And I got to tell you, Damien, I was thinking that during this broadcast I'd be talking more about how great the community is and what the DAF has done, but the problem is the game is so action-packed, I can't find the time.
It's been a very entertaining game. Stamford Darien tied at 1 here in the second half. We're about 30 minutes at the 30-minute mark of the second half, about 10 minutes into the second half. It's been a very well-played game between these two FCIAC rivals. And Stamford might just be the hottest team in the FCIAC right now, coming off 4 straight wins after a season-opening loss to Fairfield Ludlow. And that's a whistle, and that'll be a Darien ball.
It looks like a Stamford ball.
Or Stamford.
Well, John Bradley does not look happy with the decision.
It is a Stamford ball.
Ugh.
That's what you call my bad.
Is it okay if I correct you? Is that okay? Senek with good distribution out wide here. Stamford doing what they do best, playing the ball on the ground, searching for that ball over the top.
Voles comes away with it.
Well, he's been fantastic. Not just the saves, but the command he's had over his box the entire game. It has been really tough for Stamford to get some space in that box.
You know, we were talking about John Bradley, well, we've been talking about him throughout this match, but one of his assistants, his top assistants, Linda Village, she was a star at West Hill High School in Stamford, went on to play college soccer at the University of Bridgeport, and now she's John Bradley's top assistant here at Darien. As Stamford has a look here, and that is a goal.
Wow.
That is a blast. Orlando Coronado with a blast. Settles it and then just unleashes it. And Stamford regains the lead. They're up now 2-1 here in the second half. About the 26-21 mark of the second half. That was similar to Senek's goal in the first half.
Well, they were both outside of the box, and there's not much you can do if you're Voles there. I do apologize, Damien, for exclaiming during that shot, but man, was that a fantastic shot. I mean, the technique was perfect. The ball sat up nicely for him, but he kept his head down really well. And just thunderous power to put it into that top right-hand corner. Nothing the goalkeeper Voles could do. And that is, you know, it's a very, you know, it's as good as it comes, that goal, but it's still tough for Darien to concede. They had the upper hand in this match. They looked like they had a chance to go on and take the 3 points, and now it's back to an uphill battle, so let's see how they handle it.
I was just going to ask you, how do they handle it? What is the mindset right now? Down 2-1, have played so well, got that late goal in the first half to tie it up.
Yeah,
and now
I mean,
they're down 2-1.
I mean, that's just got to be so deflating. A goal of that quality, it really, it makes you wonder what kind of opposition you're up against. I mean, they're up against great opposition. But I think that, you know, based on what I've seen in the last 50 or 60 minutes of play from Darien, I really do think that they have the fight to get back into it. And right now you see here, it's their favorite kind of opportunity, a set piece delivered by Charlie Sears. And I think knowing the way that Coach Bradley raises teams, I think that Darien's going to have a good chance to settle back in and try and get that second goal.
Nice ball.
Well, it's a great defensive header by Asalami, a great clearance. Fantastic delivery by Sears. But you see, Darien is still capable of creating the chances, so I'm optimistic they can get that tying goal. Well, Damien, Stanford coach was talking earlier about improving the finishing, but I do not know what he's talking about.
They have finished well in this game. As you said, 2 goals from outside the box that just took off.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible technical ability by both Senek and Coronado for those 2 goals. Really, really impressed. And that is a great ball down the line. Coronado back at it attacking. He is dangerous. And he's going to earn the corner.
So another corner opportunity here for the Black Knights.
I can just say, we apologize. We lost power there for a moment.
Sorry about that. This is Jonathan Gill on behalf of DAF. We apologize. We just lost power for a moment. I'm just waiting for my buddy Damian Andrew to come rejoin me.
And we are back here on the DAF Media Network. Little technical difficulties, Jonathan Gill, joining me for this broadcast. A little bit of a power outage.
Oh,
Stamford has not had a power outage. 2 very impressive goals here in this game. It's 2-1 Black Knights.
Very, very true. I wish we could have taken some of Orlando Coronado's power for these cameras and the audio. That was an absolutely wonderful shot. Yeah, Stamford definitely looking like they're back on the front foot. It's going to be tough for Darien to get back in this, and let's see if they have the fight. But a long time to go, 23 minutes.
A lot of time left in this one, as you mentioned. 2-1, Stamford in front. Action here on the far side of the field. There's Senek in the middle.
And well played from Sears, and he's going to earn the foul as well. Oh, but they're going to play on. That's the advantage rule, but it comes to nothing.
Explain that to me, Jonathan Gill.
So in soccer, the advantage rule is when you get fouled, but your team the play is continuing, and your team, the referee deems that your team has a better opportunity of scoring by continuing the play rather than stopping the play and taking a free kick at where the foul was. So it was good refereeing there, letting the play go on even though there was a foul.
Well said. Nice interception there.
I've been really impressed with Essalami's defensive efforts all game. He has been a rock at the back, really tough to break down. And here's Senek. You know we don't want him in space. And there's the shot.
Yeah, Essalami, Ali Essalami. We've mentioned his name on more than one occasion in this game. He has been all over the field. One of those defenders that we spoke of earlier that Coach Caminiti's so high on this season.
I see 4 great defenders for Stamford. Darien's done a good job breaking them down and creating chances, but it's just going to be tough for them to get that second goal. I'm hoping they can pull it out. That's a great ball over the top. Let's see what it comes to. And well played right there.
Laudo Cardona down the near sideline here. Nice run.
That's a fantastic tackle by number 7, Connor Olsen, right there. But Stamford back at it again. They do not give up. And here's Coronado.
Nice save by Voles. Senek with the shot, Voles with the save.
Senek did a great job to create a pocket of space for himself and get off that shot, but Voles too good for it. Well played by both players.
You mentioned Connor Olsen. He may have the best cleats on the turf, those hot pink cleats. You can definitely see him.
I remember high school soccer. It was all about what cleats you had.
That was a great save just seconds ago by Voles. He may get another opportunity here.
Brilliant. But a great run right there by Bogdan Chervac. And now Stamford with an extremely good opportunity. And as we have seen in this game, they have a lot of good shooters. But yeah, Damien, it is about looking good and playing good. Both are equally important. So shout out to Connor Olson. Very nice cleats. I approve.
2-1 Stamford here. Now just under 16 minutes left in the game. FCIAC matchup, border rivals, Darien and Stamford. Black Knights came into this having won their last 4 games.
Well, a lot of talented players standing over the ball. Senek, Peck, Chervac. Stamford are spoiled for choice right now. A lot of great shooters over this ball. It looks like Peck is the one who's going to be taking it. Oh, and a cheeky trick play, and here's Chervac. Oh.
Little trickery there, and Chervac with the shot on goal wide.
Well, it was deflected. A little block from Darien, it seems, and it's a corner kick. That was a well-worked play by Stamford.
And again, they are going to take a break here. Just under 19 minutes left in the game. They're going to take a break for the heat. They agreed upon this before the game started. They took a break midway through the first half for heat, for the intense temps out here today. It is hot on that turf field, and they're going to take another break here midway through the second half.
Well, Damien, I don't mind it, and I think it did help Darien last half. You recall that they were down 1-0 going into the first heat break, and they came out firing and scored that equalizing goal before halftime. And let's see if they can score the tying goal as they come out again.
Yeah, I've never seen something like this before. Both head coaches agreed on this before the game started with the officials, and I think it's a pretty good idea.
I think it's a fantastic idea. It's very good for the kids. I mean, their health is, of course, the #1 priority, and it might be a little too hot to play the full 40 in one go here. And also in high school soccer, unlike in most forms of soccer, you have a clock that is regularly stopped and started. Usually in soccer, you have a continuous clock, and they add on the time at the end that for all the delays. But here you have this nice clock that you can stop and start, and so something like a good drink break on this hot day is definitely feasible.
18:48 left in the game, 2-1 Stamford in front. In what has really been an entertaining soccer matchup this afternoon here on the campus of Darien High School. Both of these teams made it to the state playoffs last season. Darien lost to Farmington, the eventual state champ last year in the Class LL state tourney. Stamford also played in that Class LL state tournament, lost in the first round of states last season. So both of these teams not unfamiliar with the postseason.
But as you said, Damien, Stamford returning everyone and Darien returning no one. And so, but to be honest, when I'm looking at this game right now, I do not see that much of a gulf in quality between the two teams. I'm seeing two teams that are pretty evenly matched.
Well, you had said to me at the half that Coach Bradley was very pleased with the way his team was playing. He said, we're outplaying them. And
yeah, I mean, he was pleased, but, one of the points that I think he was trying to reinforce is that when you're playing a team with a better record and you are outplaying them, it is tough to believe in that. It's tough to continue that momentum into the second half. And as you've seen here, I think Darien have maybe put their foot off the gas a little, allowed Stamford to come back in and create some good chances. And so I hope the heat break helped Darien a little. Coach Bradley maybe put some inspiring words into his players' heads, and we'll see what happens. But we continue with the corner here. A good chance for Stamford.
Ole Senek will serve it up here for the Black Knights. Into the box.
Great job by Essalami to hold on, play it out wide.
Nice cross.
Looked like a little shove in the back there. Darien's going to get it back.
Laudo Cordono with a nice cross for the Black Knights. Couldn't capitalize. We've talked a little bit about Liam Flaherty in this game, too. He's had a nice afternoon for the Blue Wave. Here's Senek. He is so skilled with the ball over the crossbar.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Flaherty. I've been impressed with the Blue Waves back line in general. Has been great. We talked about Tripitelli. We talked about Sears and their attacking prowess as well, as they linked for that only goal. But in addition, as you said, Flaherty's playing quite well. So overall, a very good day. And of course, Vols, the goalkeeper, the anchor of that back line, and he's been absolutely fantastic. It's unfortunate he's conceded 2 goals, but none of them were exactly stoppable for any goalkeeper around these parts. They were fantastic shots by Stamford.
Marchin heads it out. We've talked so much about this Stamford defense. The Stamford defense has only surrendered 3 goals in their first 5 games. That's impressive. Here's an opportunity for Darien. And that's a goal. Great shot by number 5, Alex Clarer. And that is an equalizer. We are knotted at 2 here in the second half. 17:02 left in half number 2 in the game between Darien and Stamford, and that was a great play by the Blue Wave, as Clare is the recipient of that goal.
Well, maybe Stamford shouldn't agree to the heat break, because it has helped Darien once again coming out of that break down in that half, and they have equalized again. And I gotta say, that goal was all heart. I said earlier in the broadcast, Damien, that when Darien puts pressure on Stamford and counterattacks, they need numbers, and that's what they had there. In addition to Clare, there were many other players. I saw 3 or 4 white shirts up there hustling, pressuring the ball. That led to the giveaway at the back by Stamford, which eventually led to the goal, and it was a very coolly slotted finish. And now Darien look like they have the upper hand. The complexion of the game is completely changed.
A little bit of a momentum shift there the last couple of minutes. Flaherty sends it down the far sideline.
That's great play from Flaherty. And unlucky there. And Senek just gives it away, looking a little tired right now.
Just a pretty goal a couple of moments ago by Alex Clare for Darien to tie this game up.
So much I liked about that goal, Damien. As I said, the hustle to win the ball back, and then the finish was just absolutely fantastic. He looked like he had no pressure on him at all, when in reality it's a very important goal for not just the Blue Wave in this game, but for their season to get a good result against a very good team.
If you're John Bradley now, what is the approach here, Jonathan, these last 15 minutes?
You know, I think John does not want them to take their foot off the gas. I think the number one thing is stay organized defensively. Don't let this draw slip. A draw is still a very good result in this game. Yep. But I think he knows that even if his team is playing defensively, they're going to get the chances through good set pieces and counterattack opportunities. And we see one coming up right here. Connor Sears, great delivery all game. But I'm sure John is telling his team to not be complacent right now. They've tied the game near the end. They've done a great job to do so. But knowing John, he wants all 3 points. He wants this win.
Here's Charlie Sears, serves it up the corner. He has served up some nice balls in this game.
It's such an asset to have someone who can deliver the ball like that. Both sides of the corner of the pitch on the corner flags, and in addition, his free kick deliveries, they've been great. Overall, very, very impressed with Charlie Sears. And, of course, his defensive effort. You kind of forget he plays center back with all the attacking work he's doing. Well, here's Peck, and he's always dangerous in midfield, spreading the ball out well.
And Alex Ramos chipping it into the box there. Another corner opportunity for the Black Knights. Here's Senek. Boy, he is always looking for an opportunity to shoot.
He creates space really, really well. I'm really impressed. You saw his touch there, his cut in. He's got such a great intuition for which way the defender's leaning, and he's able to create those pockets of space by moving in the right places.
Just great skills with the ball in one-on-one situations. Here's Marchin. Van de Graaf fighting for the ball.
That's a great takeaway right there by Jefferson. Peck with nice control. Stamford looking a little more in their comfort zone now. They don't look rattled by the fact that Darien have equalized.
Here's Senek. Marchin did a nice job marking him. And Voles comes away with it. 2-2 here in the second half, 12:56 left in the game. Darien Stamford in what has been a really entertaining soccer matchup this afternoon here at Darien High School. The whistle, and this will be a Stamford ball. Alex Ramos, far side of the field.
That's a pretty poor giveaway. Let's see if Darien can capitalize. A fantastic ball over the top there. And Darien in all sorts of space. Stamford in all sorts of trouble right now.
Will Henry Harmon, far side of your field.
Good clearance by Salami, but the danger is not over just yet.
And you get the feeling that this game is not going to end tied at 2.
It doesn't seem that way, and I really hope it doesn't. Obviously, I hope it goes in Darien's favor, but for the neutral observers out there, I think you are in for another goal. I would bet on it if I were a gambling man. Who are you thinking is going to get the next one, Damien?
Well, I tell you, it has really been a fun game to watch this afternoon. Both teams have had their moments, have had their opportunities.
I agree. I'm taking away from what you said that your answer is it's tough to tell who's going to score next, and I totally agree. But I got to say, all credit to John Bradley and the DHS soccer team coming up against a much higher ranked opposition and making it pretty unclear who the better side is. And that's a great tackle there. Sears with a good defensive effort. Oh, and that is very unlucky.
And that is a Stamford goal. Bogdan Shervac,
well,
the senior forward.
A last-ditch attempt to save by Justin Van de Graaf, but to no avail. And
Yeah.
of course, oh, sorry. Go ahead, Damien.
Good effort by Van de Graaf there to try to save that one. But Shervac finds himself with a goal, and it is 3-2 Stamford.
Yeah, Damien, I mean, it is no surprise to any of us that the goal was set up by none other than Oleg Senek. He did an absolutely fantastic job again, creating space, causing all sorts of trouble on that byline, and putting a good ball in that was easy for Shervac to get a foot on and finish.
Well, and Coach Caminiti talked about finishing. We talked about it earlier in the broadcast. He'd like to see his team finish more. Well, they have certainly done that in this game against Darien.
Well, it's definitely, and here's a good opportunity for Darien.
Marchin. Cleared out by the Black Knights, chipped back in. Nice play by Sears, that's Marchin. And that's a goal. That is another goal for the Blue Wave. Cameron Rea, a name that you've called quite a bit this afternoon.
He has been causing trouble all day for Stamford, and he deserves that goal.
Just going to say he deserved that goal. He played so well, especially in that first half.
More than any other player on the pitch.
Absolutely.
And Damien, I got to say that before that goal was scored, I was just about to kind of tell you that this game has been kind of a reversal for Stamford. I'm sure that the Caminiti is happy with the finishing, but not so happy with the defending. I'm sure he's used to good defending.
Well, and we talked about it in the first half. He said that's really the heart and soul of his team, is his back four.
Yeah, and and another chance here.
Great save by Voles, the senior. Seniors are supposed to come up big in big situations, and that was a big situation. Great save from him.
You need that experience on a relatively young team like Darien, and Voles is coming up with some inspirational goalkeeping right now. As I said, Caminiti got to be happy with the finishing, but for some reason his team's conceded 3 goals, which I don't think they've done all year. A tribute to John Bradley and the Darien attack, and also a bit of a confusing issue right now for Caminiti. He's got to wonder what's going on.
Under 9 minutes left in this one, tied at 3, Stamford and Darien locked into what has been a really entertaining soccer game this afternoon. FCIAC matchup. And here's a great interception there.
Well, Damien, I believe we were talking about the odds of someone scoring another goal when it was 2-2. So now we just had 2 more goals, and the question is, are more goals going to come in addition to that?
Are more goals coming here in the final
you got to think yes, and that is a handball.
8 minutes.
And Peck almost plays it quickly, but chooses not to, and we know Stamford has some good set piece takers, and of course, here comes Senek. We know he can whip a good ball in with that left foot, and a dangerous chance here.
So Senek with the free kick here for Stamford. Tied at 3, under 8 minutes left in the game. Chips it in. And Voles comes away with it. He has been tested at times today. Those first 2 goals from Stamford, really not much David Voles could have done.
Absolutely not.
They were rockets.
The third goal was tough to save as well, but I think in general, Voles has got to be really happy with how he's played. And as I said earlier, especially his command of the box, he's been picking up balls great. Stamford don't look like they're getting a lot of second chance opportunities in the box because Voles is right there. And I have to say, though, that one was a pretty easy pickup, and it was a little bit of a disappointing ball from Senek relative to what I've seen from him in this game. But that's some good skills. He's making up for it right now. He can hear me. I'm motivating him.
Darien, the varsity girls team, has a terrific keeper in Christine Fiore. And there's been a couple of games this season she has not had to do much, has not been tested much at all. Darien has played so well.
Well, Damien, I was watching your broadcast earlier, the Darien girls game, that 1-0 win. You and my friend Eric Hannigan.
And John Bradley on the call. He's been loving doing this, Jonathan Gill.
Well, he just shows us all up, so such a great commentator, such a great guy.
It's that English accent, too, that just puts him over the top, plus his soccer acumen.
His soccer acumen is very good, but I got to say, the English accent, there's a lot of debate in the soccer world over this, but for some reason, nobody seems good talking about soccer if they don't have an English accent, so I apologize to all the viewers. We are both, sadly, stuck with our American voices.
It's been such an entertaining game today. We haven't even had a chance to talk about your squash experience at Columbia.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
Jonathan Gill was quite a squash player.
Yeah,
and you played here at Darien as well
correct,
for a very good public school squash program.
Yeah, so we started.
There's Rhea, not to interrupt you. But,
no worries. I always love a good Rhea chance. He's been great all game. But yeah, I mean, it's not just about me. It's about my family and about the Darien squash program. It was started when I was in 8th grade by a few current high school seniors at that time. It evolved through the help of a lot of great parents, among them my dad and my mom. And yeah, our family is a squash family. All 4 of us have gone to college for squash. The twins, Leslie and Madeline, who are both very, very good field hockey players under Mo Minikis at Darien. I believe they won 4 state titles for that team. It was pretty incredible. I did probably the least for Darien sports out of all my siblings. I kind of bummed around on the soccer team, played some squash, and my little brother Harrison was a big figure at Darien High School, and I think he's at Yale right now studying up, hopefully. Just a freshman. So yeah, the Darien squash team is an absolutely fantastic organization. And oh, here comes Senek.
Senek down the far sideline.
Oh, excuse me, that's not Senek. That is Chervak. And
Bogdan Chervak.
And he's earned a penalty.
Huge opportunity here, to say the least, for the Black Knights. 4:26 left. Clock is ticking, tied at 3.
Well, I assumed it was Senek because it's a guy racing down the field with great skill, but Stamford has so many of these good players. However, I can assure you it is Senek taking this penalty right now.
If you're Stamford, this is the guy you want taking this penalty shot here.
Foles has been great all game. Let's see if he can come up with one more magical
Tough
moment.
foul for the Blue Wave.
This would be a difficult way to end it, I gotta say, but a well-earned penalty from Chervac. A little bit of a delay here. I wonder if Senek is getting a little psyched out.
Here we go. And he puts it in the back of the net to put Stamford up a goal with 3:32 left in the game. 4-3 Black Knights. And that's a tough one to swallow for the Blue Wave.
I was really hoping he'd miss, but in my heart of hearts, I knew he was not going to. This guy is too good to miss from that spot. And it is really difficult for the Blue Wave. I mean, to play a game like this against a team so good and to be dead even and to come away with nothing unless they can score in the next 4.5 minutes, that's got to be really difficult. So I hope that they can get that tying goal. And if they don't, I hope that they can have a good mentality and take away that they played a fantastic game against a very, very good team.
So they put a minute back on this clock. It was 3:32. It's 4:32 right now left in the game. 4-3 Black Knights. Great intercept there.
Well, Darien have got to throw numbers forward, and I'm looking. There's only 2 forwards up right now for Darien. They've got to start sacrificing some of their defensive stability to get numbers forward, even if that means conceding a 5th goal. And I'm sure John Bradley's going to be telling them the same thing. Everyone's got to be pushing up at this point, even the center halves.
Now at this point, Jonathan Gill, you're throwing out all the stops if you're Darien, right?
Absolutely. If there's a corner kick, expect to see Voles come up, the goalkeeper, to try and head that ball in. Everything's got to be done to get this tying goal. But of course, that leads to counterattack issues, and we're seeing one right here, Damien. A good counterattack for Stamford. Slowed down.
Senek, great tackle there by Connor Olsen.
Well, he's more than his pink cleats, Damien.
He certainly has played well at times in this game. And you notice him.
Absolutely. You just can't help noticing him. Well, Darien pushing up the field now, and you see they're throwing the numbers forward. Let's see if they can...
Konitz or the throw-in.
Well, Darien really wants a cross into the box. They want a corner kick or something of that nature. They need to generate an opportunity here.
Justin Vandegraff will throw it in here. 2:42 left in the game. Stamford up a goal, 4-3 over the Blue Wave. Darien still in search of its first win of the season. They're 0-4-2. Stamford came into this one 4-1, having won their last 4.
Nice throw from Vandegraff, leads to the corner.
There's Sears.
And well done by Vandegraff again.
And here's Bogdan Chervac.
Well, it's a great first touch by him to get the counterattack going. Let's see if they can capitalize. And that is such speed right there.
2 minutes left, and a great save by David Voles, who has played well at times in this matchup. Orlando Coronado, the shot on goal, Voles with the save.
Well, you see that John Bradley has sent the center back, Tripatelli, one of the goal scorers, up the field out of the center back position. He's now playing 3 at the back, doing everything he can to win this game. A little over 90 seconds left, but a free kick here for Connor Sears. This could be one of the last opportunities for the Wave. And a great ball in. Wow. Essalami nearly heading it into his own net.
That was almost an own goal there.
That would be a bad way to end the night. But another opportunity for the Wave. Well, yeah.
Charlie Sears serves it up. Nice ball. And Shervac heads it away. There's Senek near sideline. He is dangerous. As you have said throughout this match, he is dangerous in space.
I got to give him man of the match. Coach Caminelli talked him up beforehand, and he has not let me down. And almost there. The time is running out.
And that shot was wide by Philip Peck.
Yeah, Damien, I mean...
30 seconds left in this one. 4-3 Stamford in front in what has been a very entertaining match between these two FCIAC rivals.
And Darien looked like they might be able to get one more chance, but a great clearance. And that looks like it should be the end of the game. A fantastic game.
It really was well played by both teams. As it has come to an end, Stamford beats Darien 4-3 in a well-played match, and you hate to see it end on a penalty shot, but that's the way this one ends.
I mean, it was the right call. It was a well-earned penalty by Shervac. It's disappointing. I mean, it's both uplifting and disappointing. It's disappointing in the sense that the result is a loss, but uplifting in the sense that this is definitely the best game that Darien has played all season. The best opposition they've played all season, and they made this a really closely contested game. Oh, hello, we got the camera on us now.
We're on air here. Jonathan Gill, Damian Andrew, DAF Media Network here at Darien High School, and there's our producer, Brendan Ross, who has done a great job today. Bruce Ferguson running the camera for us. Yeah, this was an entertaining soccer game, to say the least. Darien, as you said, has to feel good about how well they played against one of the teams that's going to be there at the end for a championship in the FCIAC.
I mean, it's always tough after a loss to look back on it with a positive mentality. But I would say this: if Darien plays like this in every game of the season that they have left, they will pick up things significantly. They will get some good wins, because this Stamford team is about as good as they come, and Darien really put them to the test there. And to be honest, Darien deserved a result, but Stamford pulled it out. And that's just the way the cards fell today.
Yeah, well said, Jonathan Gill. Jonathan Gill, it's been a real pleasure to have you on the DAF Media Network calling this game with me. And as we said, a loss for Darien. They lose to Stamford 4-3, but a well-played game by the Blue Wave and Stamford too. For Jonathan Gill, I am Damian Andrew. For Brendan Ross, Bruce Ferguson, Damian Andrew, you've been watching the DAF Media Network. Stamford beats Darien 4-3 the final from the Darien High School campus. Take care, everybody.